Well, welcome to a little Coffee with the Cove bonus episode, and it's myself, Steve, and with me today is Christy. How you doing today, Christy?
I am well, Steve. How are you?
Not too bad. I thought we'd throw this out there, kind of a little bonus topic. I think that, and not that you and I know anything, but I think that we're slowly getting close that maybe we're going to see something actually go. I don't know.
I mean, eventually something has to cruise, right?
Right. I mean, while we're looking at now, like October 31st, we'll see if the CDC no sale order goes beyond that. So we're kind of waiting on that. But between now and then, Disney's come out with a book your Disney cruise with confidence. And so as of October, what is today? The 15th? I don't even know. 14th, October 14th. So we'll date ourselves because it'll probably all change tomorrow. But I make sure we
No.
No, but I think they've got a pretty good product out there if you feel like you're ready to cruise and you want to book a cruise. I think they put a pretty good product out there for everybody who wants to book right now. And I thought we'd talk about it today.
Yeah. And what's so great about it is you could be kind of ready. Maybe I'm ready. And you have until like 15 days before the cruise to really commit to that cruise, which is awesome.
So have you been seeing a lot of people? Have you talked to clients that you've booked recently? Are they excited about this, or have you talked to them about it?
People like to know that such an option exists, that there is this ability to move money and not be locked into something. It makes it feel a little less scary.
And most of the other cruise lines are doing this as well, but we're just going to look at Disney specifically, of course, today. And it has nothing to do with the cruise credits, right, Christy? That's a completely separate program, so we don't mix that up.
Right. So if you have an FCC, a future cruise credit from a previous cruise that was canceled by Disney or that you moved money on, those have different rules. You have to follow the rules specific for your cruise.
Okay. As I kind of looked at it today, Christy, it seems to me that there's kind of like two different components to it. There's four different things that they're kind of advertising, but two main different components. And the first one has to do with sailings through March, or the first two have to do with sailings through March of 2021.
Yes. So that allows you to make your final payment later. So depending on the type of cabin you booked and, the sailing itself, you don't have to make your final payment up until 60 days prior to sailing if you want, which is nice because except for suites and, any concierge cabin, that deposit would be refundable up to 60 days before as well, which is important.
And then they also have relaxed the cancellation policy for cruises booked through March of 2021.
Yes, you could also cancel your cruise for a full refund unless you're in concierge for cruises booked by October 31st. So that's the important part. You want to make sure you have to book by October 31st, which is, somehow not that long away from now.
I know.
Time has no meaning during this period. I don't even know. It's like, God, it's going so fast. So anyway, if you book by October 31st, you can then cancel and get a full refund up to 60 days before your cruise. And then penalties would start kicking in at 59 days. But also, this is, I guess, the next part, right? If you book by October 31st and you decide not to go on a cruise for sailings through March of 2021, this is a lot of dates, guys. We'll put the link in the show notes, but the important part is you can move your cruise too. So you can say, I don't feel comfortable going on that cruise. I'm not going to go on that cruise. And you can not go on it up to 2 weeks before the cruise. You can say, I want to move my money to a future cruise. To me, this is like the biggest thing to say, look, guys, book a cruise and you can move it to another one.
Right. So if you book between October 31st, 2020, any sailing up to and before May 31st, 2021, you can move it 15 days prior. Yeah. Which is a pretty good deal, I think, right now, as far as like giving you confidence. Like if it looks like, Florida's going crazy or wherever your cruise is going from, San Diego's still closed, you've got that option to do that.
And here's one more thing on that. If you end up having a fever or having a reason that you have to cancel the cruise, you can actually move the cruise and still get your money back closer to the cruise. So I believe it's like up to 2 days before. and Disney will still allow you to move that money to another cruise.
I think that's a pretty good deal as far as if you've been exposed to COVID-19, if you are having COVID-19 symptoms, it allows you to actually get a full refund at that time or move it to a later date.
And that's going to be, and that's up to 14 days before the cruise. That's going to be dependent, again, on actually having these COVID-related concerns, symptoms, or exposure. And so it's going to be on a case-by-case basis. So don't just assume that that can happen for you.
Right. So if you're confused by all of this, which you may be.
You should be. Who's not?
When you start throwing all these dates out there, different policies and things are changing all the time. I mean, I think that's one of the main reasons why, and I know we talk about it a lot, using a travel agent, having somebody that is experienced on your side to be able to navigate you through these situations really makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. And it helps a small business owner. So that's something to keep in mind, is that travel agents are only paid when somebody actually books a cruise and makes the final payment. So this helps, you are helping an individual person who's making their own business, or even if they work for an agency and they're actually employed by them, they're still helping out a small business, because all of these are small businesses. So whenever possible, if possible, please consider using a travel agent. It doesn't have to be me, but I'm happy to help you. But no, use a travel agent so that you're actually helping out somebody's little business. And this time, people like us need help right now. The travel industry has been hit so hard. You have to think of all of the people that make a significant portion of income every year actually providing travel services haven't been able to do that for months. And if they have, it's been really small.
Yeah, I know. I mean, being in the airline industry, I can tell how many people are traveling, and it's just not, it's a fraction of what the amount of people that were traveling before all this hit, obviously. So yeah, I can imagine the bookings and people feeling confident enough to do things like that. But I think, there's definitely been an uptick as far as you look at Walt Disney World. Not very many people went at first. And then when a lot of people saw that it was a pretty good, or if you felt comfortable enough to travel, we're not trying to tell anybody to travel right now. That's something that you have to make, a decision you have to make for yourself and your family. But if you do feel comfortable, it seemed like a pretty good time to be able to travel and experience Walt Disney World in a very unique situation. And I think, I'm overstepping my bounds a little bit here, but I think the cruises are going to be the same way. A lot of people are going to be nervous. There'll be the initial rush, but right after that, there could be a pretty good drop off where it may be a very unique experience if it's something that you want to do.
Yes. So. And with the flexible policies that exist right now, it really can open up the ability for people to feel comfortable booking in, locking in their price, but realizing that maybe they don't have as much risk involved with booking it. And something to remember too, if you had previously booked, we talked about this like once briefly, but if you previously booked and had a cruise get canceled and have a future cruise credit, even if you booked direct with Disney, you can move that future cruise credit to a travel agency, to a travel agent. And so they can assist you with that booking. Your price doesn't go up. Most travel agents aren't going to charge you. Obviously, you can ask them if there is a fee, but most of them don't have them. If they're providing different services, there might be a fee, but most are not going to charge you a fee to book your cruise. And then they can still get you that FCC benefit that you received from Disney.
Excellent. So once again, if you find this a little confusing, we'll leave a link in the show notes. Obviously, you can go to Disney Cruise Line, disneycruise.disney.go.com, and you can find out all the information there under their Book with Disney Cruise with Confidence. And if you have any questions and you want to book with Christy, how can people get a hold of you?
I am available everywhere at Pack Your Pixie Dust online, so you can find me and reach out. Steve does put my email address in the show notes. And then if you go to my website or to my Facebook page, it has my phone number. So we have an actual business phone number. So you can reach me, call me, have a conversation, talk about your cruise.
Excellent. And I'd be remiss to say that I think that we're kind of coming into that time frame. The fall of 2021 cruise dates are out, which obviously what we've been talking about does not affect that yet, but they have been known, if the cruises continue to be canceled, to continue to move this forward. But we are coming up on the winter of 2022 releases. So is there anything that you're thinking about, Christy, in that time frame?
I don't know yet. I have no idea what is happening for us travel-wise.
It's kind of like the spring break, scenario.
Yeah. And I've never been one to want to pay for spring break prices. So I'll have to see about that.
Yeah. Well, anyways, put it on your radar, folks. It may be coming out sometime soon. We'll find out. This is kind of about the time frame where we should be seeing the 2022 sailings come out, which I don't know.
It's hard to get excited about that, right? Like this year, usually, you know me, I'm like chomping at the bit. And because I've always wanted to get out of the cold, then that's the only thing I can think of is planning on my future cruises. But it's like everything is just in such a weird land of limbo. I'll look. There's probably something. It's starting to get tricky because as Blake gets older, the idea of pulling him out of school becomes less of a no-brainer. Like, obviously, so far up until now, I haven't been concerned at all about pulling him out of school. But yeah, as that'll be 4th grade. Oh my God. Isn't that like the bad, scary grade where it's hard again or something? So I don't know.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe he's that old.
Let me have a heart attack. How did that even happen?
I don't know. It happens quickly though. We've got a high schooler too. So, I mean, I think that's crazy. So
that's insane. Is he in high school now?
Yeah. Yeah. First year of high school this year. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. So, all right. We're going to get out of here.
Aged at all. Only our children age.
Yes. Matter of fact, we look better. If we just. All right. With that note, we're going to get out of here. Thanks for everybody for taking this, listen to our little bonus episode. If you have any questions, once again, get a hold of Christy at packyourpixievest.com. Talk to your travel agent, or at the least, you can always go to the website and find out some more information there about their Travel with Confidence program. Thanks, Christy.
Yep. Thanks, Steve.